What's up, everybody? It's your boy Anthony, and welcome to another edition of the podcast. What's going on, y'all? So, we are in the month of October, and fall has officially set in. Oh my goodness. When I tell y'all, it's hit. Yeah. And I'm not liking it. I miss my warm weather, y'all. I miss it because as a pet owner, and y'all fur dads and fur moms, y'all know what I'm talking about. Getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning, gotta walk your dog, and you know, your dogs, they decide they don't wanna go to the bathroom all in a nice, timely fashion. They just want to enjoy, the lovely cold weather. And that's what mine does. She loves to just sniff the air. And I'm like, yo, girl, I need you to just hurry up, ma'am. Hurry. I need you to hurry up and get done. Yeah, this weather, I'm not prepared for it, but it is what it is. October is here. But October, it's more than just a sweater month, with the falling leaves, etc. But it's also a month of remembrance, a month of advocacy, a month of awareness, a month of stories many people carry quietly. A lot of awarenesses happen during this month. This is a SIDS Awareness Month, Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness, Domestic Violence Awareness. These are just to name a few. So before I zero in on the main topic, which is breast cancer awareness, I do want to take time to acknowledge these other causes that shape October's emotional landscape. So, sudden infant death syndrome, which is SIDS, is the unexplained death of an infant less than 1 year old, often during sleep. So, public awareness campaigns began gaining traction in the 1990s as research advanced into safer infant sleep environments. So efforts have strongly emphasized back to sleep practices, which is placing babies on their backs to sleep and reducing risk factors like smoking and unsafe bedding. So that is definitely a topic that is not talked about that much. I would love to dive in more on that. I also would like to talk about pregnancy and infant loss awareness, and that actually happens on October 15th. That observance acknowledges the grief and loss associated with miscarriage, stillbirth, and infant death. While some cultures have long held private remembrance practices, the modern International Awareness Day began in the late 20th, early 21st century to break the silence and provide community support. Finally, another awareness theme is the domestic violence awareness. So this began in the 70s and 80s to bring visibility to intimate partner violence, previously hidden as a private issue. The purple ribbon became its symbol, and efforts today focus on prevention, survivor protection, shelter funding, and education. So, as I said, like each of these causes, they deserve all the full recognition. But today we can only focus on one. And I want to focus on breast cancer awareness because it's not just about the ribbons, but the reality behind them. So let's go beyond the pink ribbon. So as I was looking on breastcancer.org, that site reminded us that while some feel inspired by this month, many people living with breast cancer feel like that this month completely overlooks their experience with the disease. And I can kind of understand that. This month it celebrates the breast cancer awareness, and people are clothed in pink and everything, have their pink ribbons and stuff. I've seen in the streets. I was just driving, and people had all their pink on. It was a couple pink vehicles, and had a booth going, just I'm showing the awareness of breast cancer awareness. But if we really dive deep into that, I can see how that can be a traumatic thing for people that have lost, you know, individuals, family members, friends, um, close, close people in their lives due to breast cancer. And it could be triggering because seeing all of the, all of the awareness, seeing the constant reminder of breast cancer awareness, uh, that can be a little triggering. And especially if you haven't overcome it, if you're still dealing with that loss, it's a little hard. And so I completely understand that. So while some find October empowering, others, of course, do find it overwhelming. But awareness should be more than just marketing. It should be meaningful, it should be honest, human, because awareness saves lives. And that's going to be kind of like my reoccurring theme throughout this whole entire episode is that awareness, it saves lives. So this month, it represents that the world should focus on support for people diagnosed with breast cancer, education about risk factors, encouragement for screenings, and funding for research. In 2025, this year, over 316,950 women in the U.S., they will be diagnosed with invasive breast cancer, and another 42,170 will die from it. And yet, look at this, 66% of those cases are caught early. And when treatment works best because they're caught early. That's why, and I said this before, awareness saves lives. So I want to shift to another section within this, in that I think we don't really talk about this portion with breast cancer, is that men get it as well. Roughly about 2,800 American men will be diagnosed this year. And most don't even know that they're at risk. because we as men, we don't really check, for any type of lumps, or we don't self-diagnose ourselves because it's just not the norm to really think about. But if you notice there are lumps under the nipple, discharge, pain, these are all warning signs that should not be ignored. And there's also gynecomastia, a benign swelling of male breast tissue caused by hormone imbalance. So, again, let's just remind each other that faith over fear. So we shouldn't be fearful over this whole subject. So that's another saying I'm going to go between is awareness saves lives and faith over fear. So speaking against faith over fear, I want to acknowledge something that isn't always talked about enough is the mental and emotional toll of breast cancer awareness. One of the biggest tolls is fear. So whether you're someone getting screened, awaiting results, going through treatment, or supporting a loved one, that weight, it can be overwhelming, you know? Or if you're the type of person that is fearful of getting the mammogram, because you're scared of the results, again, that whole sense of mental toll, that can be overwhelming. Anxiety, sleepless nights, that pit in your stomach before an appointment, all of that's real and valid. And for many, the idea of just being strong, it don't cut it. You got to be strong for your family members that are going through this tragic disease. Got to be strong for yourself. Got to be strong again for those that are looking to you for strength. But here's the truth. You are allowed to be scared. You're allowed to feel anxious. But what matters is that you don't stay in that place alone. And also, you don't stay in that place forever. There's a few ways to nurture your mental health in this journey. You talk to somebody, a therapist, a support group, or a trusted friend. Practice calming routines, deep breathing, journaling, faith-based medication, or go to your prayer closet. Prayer is the best thing to do in talking to God when you're going through any type of traumatic situation, or if you are just feeling so stressed. Practice calming routines. As I said before, move your body gently, stretching, walking, yoga. Even 5 minutes helps shift your mood. Create a playlist. Take some of your favorite music, because I talked about music therapy in the post. As I was posting on my Instagram and TikTok, Facebook, etc. Create a playlist and whatever songs that makes you feel good, listen to that. Whether it's gospel, whether it's some type of calming, tranquil music. Limit doom scrolling, meaning all of this news that we're getting with, everything that's going on with this administration to things that are going on overseas, furloughs. We're constantly seeing news thrown at us every single day. And it's depressing. Killing, shootings, racism. That's alive and well. That's never gone away. I mean, people act like it doesn't exist, but it does. But limit all of that. Take breaks from constant news and social media input. I mean, it's good to be aware of what's going on, but when you become overloaded with it, your whole attitude, everything about you, it does change. So you again don't have to pretend everything's fine, but you also don't have to let fear win. As I said before, faith over fear. Let it be a mantra. Let it be your armor, because mental health is a part of this fight too. So I want to shift to the next topic, or the next subject within this whole topic, is the mammogram experience. So according to Deborah Akita's Breast Imaging the Requisites book, mammography uses highly specialized X-ray machines with advanced components like a compression plate, automatic exposure control, and a rotating C-arm, all designed for precise soft tissue imaging. So despite this technology, many women delay their mammograms. And we often wonder why. And I alluded to this earlier. And it's because fear of pain during the compressions, anxiety over test results, a belief that feeling healthy means no screening is necessary, fear of results. That's the most common reason, especially among those with a family history or prior experience with cancer. But let me say this from the heart. If you're scared, you're not alone. And I said this before, and I'm going to say it again, and let's all say it out loud. Faith over fear. If you're worried about discomfort, here's what's helped. Schedule your mammogram 7 to 10 days after your period starts, when breasts are less tender. Take some Tylenol beforehand. Ask for foam cushion pads if they're available. They help without harming image quality. Deborah Akita also highlights that radiologists rely on breast history forms to assess risk. So know the risk within your family. So top risk factors include personal or family history of breast ovarian cancer, BRCA1, BRCA2 genetic mutations, being over 50, being biologically female. And breast cancer's rises with ages remain elevated until about 80. For those who've had breast cancer already, the chances of recurrence is about 1% per year. When breast cancer is diagnosed, treatment typically includes surgery, radiation, and systematic therapy like chemo or hormone therapy. A team of experts, radiologists, oncologists, pathologists, and surgeons work together to tailor a plan. And according to Breast Cancer Dove Medical Press, early stage cancer is usually managed with breast conserving surgery or mastectomy. For metastatic cancer, treatment focuses on prolonging survival and preserving quality of life. So please, again, don't let fear keep you from screening. Let faith over fear guide your next step. And remember, awareness saves lives. So this might surprise you, but according to veterinary oncologists like Dr. Ruth Ann Chun from the University of Wisconsin School of Veterinary Medicine, dogs and cats can develop breast cancer as well. It's called mammary gland cancer, and it's actually one of the most common cancers in unspayed female pets. Mammary gland cancer is certainly in the top 3 most common cancers in cats. And in dogs, it's also widespread, especially in middle-aged and older females who haven't been spayed or were spayed in later life. In dogs, breast tumors in dogs appear as lumps of varying shapes and sizes near the nipples. Some are benign, meaning they won't spread. Others are malignant, which means they can spread to other parts of the body, including the lungs. Symptoms can include lumps in or around the mammary glands, discharge from the nipples, inflammation, swelling, or sore skin, and ulceration over the lump. Advanced signs may include coughing if the cancer spread to the lungs, weight loss, loss of appetite, wheezing, weakness, or fatigue, and depression or behavioral changes. In cats typically have more aggressive forms of breast cancer. The tumors often grow faster and they spread earlier and are more likely to return after treatment. So you might notice a firm lump or swelling along the belly near the nipple chain, ulcers or open sores on the tumor, discharge from the nipples, lymph node swelling, and in advanced cases, trouble breathing if the cancer spreads to the lungs, weight loss, and infections. So here's what you can do, because awareness saves lives and early detection matters. Let's help our pets by doing monthly checks during groomings or belly rubs. Spay your dogs or cat before their first heat cycle. This drastically reduces the risk. Taking them to the vet immediately if you notice a lump or swelling or discharge. Asking your vet about annual wellness exams with palpitation of the mammary chain. And even though most pet owners don't think about breast cancer in animals, it's real and it's treatable if it's caught early. And just like people, there's not always a death sentence. So many pets, they go through surgery, chemotherapy, or medication, and they return to normal, happy lives. So let's not skip the snuggle checks. Don't ignore the lumps and never hesitate to call your vet. Because, our furry friends, they need us. They can't speak to tell us what's going on. So we have to be that voice for them. So let's look at those signs. Let's pay close attention to whatever they are telling us. Because our furry pets, our fur babies, they matter. And We cannot live, we cannot think about our lives without them because they are just a part of our family. They're like our children to us. So early detection, it matters. And awareness, again, it saves lives. So I want to talk about some quick facts that you might not know. Alcohol raises breast cancer risk, even small amounts. So your body converts it into a cancer-linked toxin called acetaldehyde. Having a male relative with breast cancer raises your risk, especially with the BRCA1, BRCA2 mutations. Did you know, and I just discovered this, that breastfeeding actually plays a role in breast cancer prevention? So, according to research, breastfeeding can actually lower women's risk of developing breast cancer, especially if done for longer than a year. The more months a woman breastfeeds across her lifetime, the more protective the effect seems to be. And here's why. Breastfeeding limits the number of menstrual cycles a woman has in her lifetime, which lowers exposure to estrogen, or hormone that can encourage the growth of certain breast cancers. It also causes structural changes in the breast that may make cells more resistant to becoming cancerous. And it encourages healthier lifestyle patterns overall. Things like avoiding alcohol and smoking, which also reduce cancer risks. But of course, this isn't about pressure or shame if you guys do breastfeed or if you don't breastfeed. This is just simply about awareness and education. Studies have shown that breastfeeding has reduced breast cancer risk, but it's not a guarantee or a requirement. It's everybody is different. And so is every path to health. So again, this is just awareness, and it's not judgment if you're not breastfeeding or if you're on, if you're giving your baby formula. This is just simply just presenting information. So I just want to make that clear. Here's some more quick facts, and this is in reference to racial disparities. And here's a reality that many people, they don't talk about enough. Even though Black women are diagnosed at a similar or sometimes lower incidence rates than white women, their mortality rate is about 40% higher. Black women are diagnosed at younger ages and with more aggressive cancer types like triple negative breast cancer, which is harder to treat. And insurance and access barriers also play a huge role. In fact, studies have shown that insurance status accounts for over a third of the survival gap between Black and white women. So over decades, breast cancer death rates have fallen overall, but the racial gap in mortality has stayed stubbornly wide, and that's according to the CDC. Why does this information matter for awareness? When we say awareness saves lives, we mean equal awareness and equal access. Because let's face it, African Americans do not have the same access to high quality screening and treatments. And there is systematic racism and socioeconomic barriers. And all of these gaps, they show us that seeing the ribbon, seeing just this pink ribbon, it's not enough. We must strive for equity. So I'm calling you guys out, my listeners. If you're part of a community or network that's underdeserved, you need to talk about this, talk about these facts, support programs that reduce barriers, share your stories, because together we can close these gaps. Another quick fact that you may not know is metastatic breast cancer or stage 4 breast cancer, which means that cancer has spread beyond the breast in nearby lymph nodes to distant organs like the lungs, liver, and bones or brain. So in the U.S., an estimated about 170,000 women are living with metastatic breast cancer in 2025, and that's according to the Susan G. Komen website. So trends show that the incidence of metastatic breast cancer at diagnosis has increased over time from 5.8 cases per 100,000 women in 2001 to 7.9 per 100,000 in 2021. So survival for metastatic breast cancer has improved, but it still carries a sobering reality. Women with metastatic disease are about 30% as likely as women in the general population to live at least 5 years after diagnosis. So why does all of this matter for awareness? So these are often hidden stories, not just early stage diagnosis. They deserve visibility. They deserve support and research attention. So I'm calling you guys out, listeners. If you or someone you love has been diagnosed with early stage, remember that the follow-up never ends. Stay engaged, informed, and supported. Awareness, it saves lives. So as I come to my conclusion, I just want to tell you guys that there is hope. Despite all of these challenges that I have named, despite everything that we have gone through with breast cancer, the progress, it's real. In the U.S., there are more than 4 million women with a history of breast cancer. Overall, female breast cancer death rates in the U.S. have decreased from 20.6 per 100,000 women in 1999 to 19.1 per 100,000 women in 2020. Improvements in early detection, mammography, better treatment options, and greater awareness contribute to this success. New therapies, targeted treatments, and ongoing research continue to expand what's possible in breast cancer care. And speaking of new therapies, I wanted to talk about it's a AI powered mammogram. And it can actually predict breast cancer risk, and it was actually on the Today Show. So routine mammograms are the, mainstay of breast cancer screening, but it's technology that's called Clarity Breast, and it's the first of its kind, and it's just received authorization from the Food and Drug Administration. And it's just starting to appear in some hospitals in the US, and experts are saying, when interpreted correctly, it can be an important tool in identifying those with higher risk for breast cancer. So using images from mammograms, the technology generates a risk score, which is the probability that someone will develop breast cancer in the next 5 years. So revolutionary AI is out there. So this is just something that literally they talked about on the news literally today. And it's you can research it yourself. So I'm calling you listeners out again. So if someone has been diagnosed, or you know someone who has, hold on to hope. The tools are stronger than ever, and community support matters. Faith over fear. Just remember that. So what can you do now? In conclusion, what can I do? You can get screened if you're 40 or older or younger with risk factors. Talk to your doctor about starting mammograms or early screening. Know your history. It's cancer. It doesn't skip men or young people. Know your family history, including male relatives with breast cancer, and ask about genetic risks. Support equity. Advocate for access to screening and care in understanding communities. Share trusted information to everybody, because we all deserve that equal care, not just one type of person or one skin color. Everybody deserves equal care. All skin color deserves equal care. My color deserves equal care. Support free screening programs and promote policies that help remove all of these barriers. The systematic racism has got to stop. Speak up. Being diagnosed early is one thing, but surviving it is another. Use your voice to honor everyone fighting, especially those with metastatic disease or from marginalized groups. Balance your mindset. Awareness isn't just external. Mentally affirm this, because I've been saying it throughout this whole entire episode. Faith over fear. Repeat that to yourself. Faith over fear, and awareness. It saves lives. And finally, join the conversation. Host a pink food party. And a pink food party, that is you throwing a party with your friends and family, everybody coming in dressing in pink. Y'all decorate your house with pink decor, having pink foods. Get those pink banana berry popsicles that I talked about early in the episode. But yes, y'all coming in there and starting a conversation. Wear pink on Fridays. Do a social campaign. Check on your pets. Because if we don't check on our pets, nobody else will. They can't speak. We have to speak for them. All of these small actions multiply in power. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Hope you guys learned from it. I enjoyed it. Happy Breast Cancer Awareness Month. For those that are hurting during this month, don't be ashamed to get help. Don't be ashamed to talk to somebody. Don't even be ashamed to pray. Don't be ashamed to pray in front of anybody. Prayer is what will keep you sane because we need it again during this day and age. But just don't be ashamed, period, because your mental health matters. All right. I'm Anthony. I'm out, y'all. See y'all next time.